Today it's time for a collector's review. This one is going to be simple, quick. There's not much to it. Literally, there's not much to it. I don't normally review the American version of mini Super Sentai Power Ranger toys. I usually always do the Bandai of Japan version. But this is the only version of it that I have, the only one that I could find. I've had this, like most of my collection, I've had it for a long time. This one I've probably had for a good 4 or 5 years running now. Found it on eBay for like $45, I think. But it is the Galaxy Morpher or Ginga Brace from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy / Seijuu Sentai Gingaman from Japan, the Japan series, of course. But this is the Bandai of America version, and it's an older one. This is from back in like this is like 1999. So yeah, it's old. It's old compared to today's standards. It's 20 years old almost. And it's very, very simple. Like I said, I don't normally review the American version, but it's the only one I can get my hands on. I've been kind of putting off reviewing this because it's the Bandai of America version, and it's rather simple. I don't have the Japanese version to compare it to, but I'm pretty sure that if I did, it would blow it out of the water easily. It's got a rather cheap vinyl strap with Velcro, and because it's the Bandai of America version, the strap barely fits my wrist. I mean, like if I were to flail around just a bit, the Velcro would just come right off and fly off my hand, fly off my arm and probably break. But at least you can see that the paint job it's fairly detailed. It's fairly good. Of course, there's some scraping, some chippings of the paint here and there because it is older and I did buy it used. But to get on with it, there is a on switch right here on this side, and it says on off. Fairly simple. You turn it on and it makes a sound indicating you've turned on the device. Just a simple little sound. Now, if I don't do anything, you'll hear a small beep. That obviously is an indicator beep to let you know the device is still on, and it's, because you don't want to drain the battery. Now this whole indication beep for when the device is on, it's, from what I've seen, it's purely a Bandai of America trait with their toys. Bandai of Japan, they don't do it with their toys. It doesn't let you know the toy is still on, for the exception of maybe like 2 morphers that I have in my possession from the Bandai of Japan version that do that. But the reason why they do it is because they have lots of functions, lights and sounds, and they don't want you to drain the battery too quickly. But pretty much when it comes to the Bandai of America versions, they all do it. They pretty much all do it. If you leave the toy on, it just beeps incessantly. It's rather annoying. But at least you're not draining the battery. Now in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy / Seijuu Sentai Gingaman, they would morph by using this gold dial here, and it rotates. It clicks as you rotate, and there is a small arrow on the dial that is really hard to see. I'm sure that's very hard to see, because even that's right up close to my face and it's hard to see. But when they morph, they would turn the dial and they would line up the arrow with their corresponding Ranger color. As you see, they have all the Ranger colors here from the series: red, blue, green, yellow, and pink. Lost Galaxy is a space / animal series, I guess. It's kind of an odd one, but I liked it. I mean, in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, they called the Zords, or their mechas, they called them Ginga beasts. And in the American version called them the Galactic Beasts. The Japanese version called them the Ginga Beasts. Which Ginga means galaxy in Japan. So they really didn't change much there. They didn't change anything at all. They just kept it the same. But it was really odd because they were living creatures, like living galactic beasts, like giant Godzilla-sized beasts that could turn into robots and fuse together into a Megazord. It was the weirdest thing ever. I mean, obviously, in Japan, let me turn this off because that beeping gets really annoying. We've had series where they try to hint that the mecha or the Zords are alive and have their own souls and train of thoughts and everything like that. Like, say, Power Rangers RPM or Go Onger, as it was called in Japan. The reason why their Zords had eyes is because they were alive. Here in America, for Power Rangers RPM, they don't hint to it at all, until Power Rangers Super Mega Force, where the Mach Falcon, a Zord from Power Rangers RPM, makes an appearance, and then they start the Super Mega Force Rangers start hinting the fact that it's got a mind of its own and it does what it wants and it's alive. So, again, in continuity, it's not. They can't keep nothing the same. They can't. They just can't. They just don't, or they don't want to, because it's probably convenient for them. But again, I'm trailing off. Back to the Morpher. It's very, very simple. There is a blue faceplate right here. Turn the device back on, and there are two buttons here. This right here, even though it looks like you could press it and it kind of depresses a little bit, it doesn't. It's not. This is actually just a light right here. And the speaker is right here. There are three openings for a speaker, which are oddly but cleverly placed, if you ask me. But there's two buttons. They're hard to see, but it's here and here because they're just supposed to match this here, like teeth, I suppose. And the first one here, the first one down underneath the Ranger colors, is basically like a call sound. Or not. That is a roar. If you turn the dial to correspond with a Ranger and press it, this is not. Now there's the call sound. You have to take it off of the Ranger colors. I probably should have refreshed myself before recording, but it doesn't matter. When the arrow is off of the Ranger colors, it makes a call sound, and you see the light here light up. Fairly simple, but turning the dial and lining it back up with Ranger color, hit the second button, and that is the really quick, simple morphing sound. Really, really underwhelming, if you ask me, because I'm only getting 4 sounds out of this device if you include the indicator sound, the little indicator beep that you hear that lets you know the device is still on. But like I said, there's the indicator beep. When you're off the Ranger colors, you get the call sound. On the Ranger colors, you get a quick roar when you still press the first button. And then the second button, when it's on any of the Ranger colors, makes the morphing sequence sound. And that's it. That's really it. And as you see, not a very big strap. Really small vinyl strap. And it's made for kids, obviously, because it's the Bandai of America version. And I've mentioned before, I'm so glad that Bandai of America does not have the Master Toy license for Power Rangers any longer. But it won't matter for this because this is in the past. This is old news. So I hope you enjoyed this little quick review of the... I'm going to turn that off again, that gets annoying. Of the Ginga Brace / Galaxy Morpher from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy / Seijuu Sentai Gingaman. I told you it was quick and simple. There's not much else to it, guys. Later.